Facebook land. Hello, how are you? Welcome to our 30-day challenge. Just going to check in here for a second or so, make sure the sound is okay. All right. Okay, looks like the sound is all right. Well, let's get into it. So, welcome to day 10 of our 30-day Unleash the Dragon challenge. And today we have, as usual, a very special treat. We're doing Cobra. So we have been working through our animals, and this is our sixth and last of our fundamental animals. And then this is the end of the last day of our first 10-day cycle, and then we'll get into our next 10-day cycle where we drill down a little bit deeper into the animals and look at the fundamental elements that make up each individual animal. And we're going to get a little bit stronger in them. And then that'll set us up for the dragons for the last 10-day phase. So this first phase, this first part of our cycle, this is about looking at general alignment. And then the next phase is putting the animal structures on top of that alignment. And so that's the general logic. So today, let's start off as we have been doing. Do a little bit of boa, do a little bit of breathing, maybe do one or two of the other animal bows, keep them fresh, and then we'll get into our cobra. We'll do the bow, and we'll do a basic alignment exercise, and then we'll go back to the bow, using our regular sandwich structure, and that way you can feel the difference. All right, so let's get into it. Take a moment, stand, feet shoulder width-ish apart, and let the weight of your body settle in on your legs. And let the weight of your body travel down the bones of your legs, down into the feet, and then into the earth. Relax, relax any unnecessary tension in your shoulders. And let's take a kinesthetic snapshot of our bodies as a starting point. So feel your feet, feel your shin bones settle into your feet, into the heel sockets and onto the magical trampolines that are the arches of your feet. Feel your knees, feel your thigh bones landing on the ionic columns of your shins. Feel the keystone arch of your pelvis. Feel your spine rest on your pelvis. I have a little bit of a Roman theme going on today with all the arches and the columns going on here. And feel the spine, feel the rib cage hanging off of your spine. Feel the complex of your collarbones and your shoulder blades. Hold the socket in which your upper arms fit into. Feel your upper arms. Feel your forearms. Feel the fingers and the hands. Feel the cervical vertebra of your neck. Feel the fused skull plates, the bones of your skull, the jaw. Feel the tension behind the eyeballs. Feel the fused bones of your pelvis, your pelvic girdle. As you inhale, fill up all of the spaces between those joints with air so that it raises your body like a hydraulic system. And then as you exhale, you empty the joints out, you empty them out of air, and your bones settle on each other, letting your weight settle down. Fill up with breath. Filling in the space between the joints, filling in the marrow of your bone with breath. Let that expand you like a big balloon. And then as you exhale, let your bones settle and stack on top of each other. And breathing in, filling up with breath. Let your breath enter the space between your joints into your marrow. Let it expand you like a balloon in all directions at once. And exhale, let your bones settle in on each other. And let's get into Boa. Allow your mind to touch base with that quiet center. Feel your sense of empathy. Feel almost as if you can send waves of empathy out into the space and touch all of the inside perimeter of whatever space that you're in. It's almost like you take an empathic snapshot, a snapshot of feeling and of intelligence and sentience of the room that you're in. You're taking a snapshot of the mood and the atmosphere of the room that you're in with your Boa, with your sense of empathy as it flashbulbs out and then back into you. So you extend your awareness in all directions. And feel like your breath is coming from that quiet center. And exhale. With the palms of your hands, touch the inside of the barrel that you're in at the back and around you. Inhaling, your breath raises your spine, lengthens your legs, open, and stop the world. Any kind of mental chatter is just erased. And then bring the breath in and let the breath out. Come up on the rebound, because that's what waves do, and then drop again, exhaling. Inhale. Let the in-breath fill you up like a big balloon. Let the waves ripple up your body. Let the waves carry your arms out in front of you, and stop the world. Pause. Bring the breath in. Exhale. Let your breath pour out of your body like a waterfall into the palms of your hands, giving back to the earth. Draw energy from the earth. Whoops. Get back. Come back up on the rebound. And drop back down. Drawing energy from the earth. The earth sends a wave of breath up through your body. That's what's moving you. And stop the world. Bring the energy of the earth in. It's life-giving breath. And then you give your exhale as a gift. All of the things that you don't need, but which for the earth is food for the earth, you give that back to the earth. One more time. And dropping down. Inhale, draw energy up from the earth. Take what you need. Stop the world. Bring it in. And everything that you don't need but is a gift to others, you give back to the earth. And stand. And feel what your body feels like. And release. Release and relax. So for myself, I'm feeling a lot more puffy around my body again. My hands are a little bit more swollen with breath. They're a bit more puffy and red. And I just feel generally a softer gaze and focus all around. And now let's do the opposite. Let's do the Boa's opposite. Let's bring in Tiger. So we're going from soft, undulatory to now linear and powerful. You're feeling the large muscle groups of the body, your big mirror muscles that act as armor for your body. You're sending your roots down into the earth, and you're drawing up energy from the core of the earth. You're feeling the pressure of tectonic plates press against each other, harnessing that friction in your own life, turning that friction into an ability for you to deal with tension and obstacles. Find your physical center, your Manipura, your belly. Fill your heart with a fiery, determined passion. And in your mind, hone your mind, focus it like a laser beam that just cuts through any obstacle. Bring in the energy of the earth, and your body becomes like a pressure cooker, increasing the pressure inside your body as you increase the pressure on the outside of your body, building that pressure cooker pressure. And Issa. Breathe in. 1, 2, and exhale. And triangles. And flip the triangle. And standing. If you were thinking about it before Tiger and it's no longer there after you've done Tiger, it wasn't real. All right, so that's Tiger, bit of Boa, Tiger and Boa, again opposites for the Earth Dragon. And now we're going to delve into Cobra. So, Cobra is, so as a style of movement in a martial art context, and I'm just going to frame it as a martial art context first, and then we'll talk about other things, other disciplines as we move along. But the Cobra style plays an important role. Now, it's a really weird animal. And to be honest, it's not my most comfortable, so I have to stretch to do it. And I got to stretch, it's a little bit left field for me. But it is a really important animal, and I really appreciate what it has to offer. So what does it have to offer? So the Cobra style is a lot like what a monkey style has to offer in traditional Chinese martial arts, or what drunken styles have to offer. So there are stories, and the best way to explain it is through a story. So there are different versions of the story, but they're similar. So there's usually a temple, a Shaolin temple, or some martial art temple, and there's usually a young practitioner who's really gung-ho, really doing a lot of work and practicing a lot, but they keep practicing the same old moves over and over again. And they kind of get frustrated. They want to expand their vocabulary. There's something inside that's itching. And they go off to they just have a confrontation, or they're just done, and they storm off the temple grounds. They go to a tavern and they start drinking, and lo and behold, the teacher comes by just by chance and reprimands the young student, and then tries to get him to come back to the school, and they get into a fight. And what happens is that because the young student is drunk, they're doing all these wonky and different moves because they're completely uninhibited. They have the full benefit of having trained a lot, so their bodies can handle all these weird angles, but also they're uninhibited, so all these crazy little moves get recombined in different ways. And the young student breaks out of their normal, habitual way of doing things. And that's the value of those kinds of drunken styles. So you get to move, when you get to move in ways that help you break your normal pattern. And so the Cobra system, it looks like a drunkard trying to do yoga, basically. There's a lot of bobbing and weaving. The limbs are loose, and sometimes heavy and sometimes light. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's drunk, but looks dangerous. And so that's the kind of movement quality that the Cobra has. Now we'll do the bow first. We'll do an alignment exercise that involves the head. Again, we're working through our progression from the feet up, it's just with Cobra. Yes, we're working on the Cobra physically, but the Cobra and the leopard, they're both what we call ethereal animals. So they focus a lot more on the energetic. And we'll talk about that later down the line. Right now I want to focus on the alignment work of the Cobra first. Okay, so let's get into the bow. So you can do this on, I'll take a step back so you can see my feet. You can do this on 2 feet, or you can do the more advanced version where you take 1 foot, take the big toe of that foot and step it on the space between your big toe and second toe of the other foot. And look, it's like a Cobra tail. So this is like the Cobra that rears itself up before it strikes. I'm doing away with both legs like a bipedal animal, and I'm giving myself the tail of a Cobra. And you'll notice you're automatically already a little bit off balance. That's a good thing. Use it. And if you lose your balance and fall off, yeah, sure. Just catch yourself, bring yourself back. No biggie. I'm going to do that a lot, I promise you. And if you get tired of being on one leg, no problem, switch to the other. Not a big deal. What you want to enjoy, what you're working on, is relaxing as you lose and regain your balance. And you sort of learn to float and surf with your imbalance, with your compensation, with your vestibular compensation. I promise to try not to nerd out. Okay, so you try and surf your imbalances. Okay, so if there's that. Now, if you don't want to do it on 1 foot, no problem. Both feet down on the ground, that's fine. You can still feel and imagine like you're drunk, and you're just throwing yourself off balance for the heck of it. And yeah, we could do that, I guess. Yeah, we could do a little warm up to that. Let's do it. I hadn't thought about this earlier, but this is a great little warm-up. If you have your feet next to you, feel what your feet feel like, and let your weight settle down to both legs evenly. So again, like water balloons, you're squishing the water balloons out in all directions. And then what you're going to do is you're going to emphasize the backs of the balloons and settle down on the backs of the balloons. And then what you're going to do is you're going to move around a little bit so that you're carving your feet. You're drawing like a circle around both feet. So I'm at the back of the heels of both legs. I'm carving towards the right. Now I'm carving towards the front. I'm carving towards the left. And I'm back on my heels. And then I'll switch directions. And I'm just going to explore that narrow little range of front, back, side to side. I'm going to relax in my knees. It's not a big motion. I'm not trying to tweak my knees or anything. It's the limit of my stability, but it's still functional. It's still I'm still landing on my legs. I'm still landing in my feet. Just the outside edge of that. All right. So you just circle around a little bit. And when you do the bow, you try to stay in that little fenced-in pen of your balance, okay? And you allow yourself to be loose and relaxed within those boundaries. All right, so that gives us a little starting point. And what we do with the Cobra bow is we have these Cobra finger positions where you just bring your index finger below your middle finger, so it's like Cobra fangs. And we start off, we have our feet together, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a small little sipping in-breath, And I'll just come here to the mic again. So you're sipping your breath in. You bring your tongue up to the space behind your teeth, like so. And you take a little sipping breath. Right? And we're going to take 3 in the course of this bow. So it's going to be like this. And then a long out breath. And, well, I'll explain more about why the tongue is in that position a little bit later. Let's go through the steps. So you're going to take 3 sipping in breaths while you move your hands in the following way. So the first in breath, you take the first in breath as your hands come to the tip of your tailbone and you touch your tip of the tailbone. The hands come forward up to the third eye, and you take your second sipping in breath as you touch your third eye, as you touch the space between the brows of your eyes. Then you bring the hands over your head, and you touch the back of your brainstem, the back of your head at your occipital lobes, as you take the third sipping in breath. Then your hands go out to the sides on a diagonal upward, like so. That was a sound effect. Don't exhale. Hold your breath. And so you draw the hood of the cobra. It comes forward. So you bring the fingers above the physical point of the third eye. And then the hands shift. You fold, and the hands start coming down the midline of your body as you exhale. I feel like I'm in a scene from Dirty Dancing or something. Come on, nobody puts baby in a corner. Okay, so your hands. So let's do the bow again. So breathe in deep. Sipping breath. Tip of the tailbone. Third eye. Back to the brainstem. Then hold the breath. I'm just going to get it lower so you can see. Bring the hands forward. Come forward, drop. Exhale. In a long, continuous line. One more time. And inhale. Third eye. Back of the brainstem. Hood. Little strike, and then exhale, fold the arms. One more time. Now a little bit more bobbing and weaving, a little bit more drunk. And tip of the tailbone. Third eye. Back of the brainstem. Hold the breath. Hood of the cobra. Strike, and then exhale. And one more time. The more drunk, the better. And breathe in deep, tip of the tailbone. Third eye. Back of the brainstem. Cobra hood. Cobra strike. Start to exhale, fold the arms, and exhale as the hands go down. Let me break up the top action a little bit. I'm just going to get on my knees so you can get a clear sight of my arms. Yeah, that's good. So you've done the touch of the tip of the tailbone at the third eye, up over the top of the head. Hands go out. And you can sort of think of like the hood of a cobra. So the base of the hood is here, and the hood flares out like so. And then you have the head of the cobra like around here. And so you go up, and you circle the inside of the cobra's hood, and you get to sort of the head or of the cobra's face. And then there's like a little strike that, like a little strike that you make with your body and arms, like a little flick, like it's striking. And then I imagine like my hands are in the inside of that cobra's hood, and they drop, and with my fingers, I'm sort of flaring the inside of the cobra's hood. And so I'm drawing the contour of the inside of the cobra's hood, and then my hands come down in front of me as I exhale. Okay? So that's the action. It's a little bit more involved than the other animals. The snakes are usually a bit more intricate than the cats are. Okay, so let's try it one more time all together. And inhale, tip of the tailbone. Sip. Sip as you touch the third eye. Sip as you touch the brainstem. Draw the hood, the back of the hood. Draw the rim of the hood. Draw the inside of the hood. And exhale. Let's do it one or two more times. So you exhale. And then right away you go to the tip of the tailbone. Inhale, sip. Inhale, sip, touch the third eye. Inhale, sip, touch the back of the brainstem. Hold the breath. Start to exhale as you do the strike. And draw the inside of the hood. And drop down. Okay. So that's the cobra bow. What does the cobra represent in terms of the animal archetypes, in terms of aspects of consciousness? It represents psychic perception. And so this is, there's different ways you can look at this. So from a sort of traditional point of view, it's the perception of other people's intentions. It's the perception of more refined or subtle energy. So this is the realm of, sixth sense. I see dead people, a little clairvoyance, magic, that kind of transcendental perception. The kind of experiences that we all have where we sort of feel like there's much more to life than our own individual will. And we've all had experiences of this, perhaps when somebody that's near to us is passing into the next realm. You get impressions, you get feelings, you get information or presence of some kind. And the cobra reflects that aspect of our lives and that aspect of our awareness. And like many kinds of systems, it works on, it helps to try to cultivate and be open to those kinds of experiences, but also allowing us to be grounded for them, to be able to handle them. And the centers of the animal that are a focus for the cobra, just like in the bow, is the tip of the tailbone, the back of the brainstem, and the third eye point. And the tip of the tailbone sort of acts as a grounding prong so that you can sort of handle the energy so that you can ground experiences that might otherwise be overwhelming. This is the mythos of the animal. And the back of the brainstem sort of acts as a black box. It records everything. And then you have the third eye, which is that gateway to that form of perception. All right. And so we'll talk more about the cobra and its personality and its type of perception. But it is what you're doing when you're doing the bow is you're basically acknowledging, saying hello, and perhaps dredging is a good word, clearing the circuits. So you're trying to just be a little bit more objective and a little bit less reactive to first impressions is a good way of explaining it. Okay, so We'll talk more about the cobra and its personality later on, but right now let's do an alignment exercise, and we're going to focus on the head. So you can do this sitting down. I'm going to do it like I did yesterday, sort of kneeling. It'll be easier that way so you can see a bit more. But what you can do, and actually I think I'll just change the angle here. There we go. All right. That works? Yep, good. So what you can do is you can get onto the ground, and what you're going to do is not have any good posture whatsoever. You're going to chill out, and you're just going to hang like you're at the beach or at the park, just like watching the world go around. And so you're not going to have like deliberately good posture. And we're going to focus on the head. So what I'd like you to do is let your arms just brace your body up. I want you to relax, and I also want you to know this is a fantastic exercise. Any day you finished working on your laptop and you're just like crimped up in your neck, this is a great way of relieving the stress from your neck and your shoulders. So you're going to focus on your nose, and you're going to imagine that you've got like a wall in front of you, and you're going to chicken head your head forward, and you've got a pencil in your nose, and you're going to draw a circle with your nose on the wall. Okay? So you're just going to draw a circle, and you want to make the circle as round and as full as you can. So just notice, are you making a bit of an oblong up and down? Are you making it a bit more oval side to side? Is it squiggly at one part of the clock versus another? And whatever you're noticing, try and even out the circle and make it full all the way around. And circle in one direction. And circle in the other. And again, you're just hanging out. Just let your spine do whatever it's going to do. Okay, good. All right, now come back to neutral. Now what you're going to do is you're going to press your head towards the back wall. And you've got a little pencil going out the little knob at the top of your spine, the part of your occipital bone there at the base of your skull. You've got a little pencil popping out. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to press your head towards that back wall, and you're going to draw a circle with the pencil that's coming out the back of your head. It's on the opposite side of your nose, coming out the other side of your skull. Doesn't have to be a big circle. Bigger is not necessarily better. In fact, you could say smaller and more precise is better. Circle in one direction and circle in the other. Good. And chill out, relax, rest. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look to the right. And we're going to draw a circle with the pencil in our nose to the right. So we're drawing a circle in one direction. I forgot to mention, you are sticking your head towards the right as much as you can. So you're trying to reach your nose towards the wall on the outside of your shoulder. And you're drawing a circle on that wall just on the outside surface of your shoulder. Good. And circle the other way. relaxing the rest of your body. And then chill out, rest. And, oh my God, surprise, surprise, we're going to do it on the other side. So, you're hanging out, you turn your head to the left, and there's a wall, right? You know, your shoulder's up against a wall, and you're going to press your nose towards that wall, and you're going to draw a circle with your nose. Drawing a little circle with your nose, doesn't have to be big. Keep relaxing the rest of your body. Good. And circle the other way. Good. And then come back to the middle. Come back to center. Okay, good. And then curl around. Stack one vertebra on top of the other. Come to a stand. I'm just going to correct the camera. Feel what your body feels like. And I'll just check the little messages here, see if everything's okay. Hello, Kat. Hello, Dorothy. Hello, Ecuador. Pamela, nice to see you. Hello, Joy, Katrina. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Hello, Jenny. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So now feel what your body feels like. It's a little bit low. Okay. Feel what that feels like. And for myself, I feel a lot looser in the head. And when I move my head from side to side, it has less of a tendency to yard the rest of my body with it. So my head's kind of like connected, but not yarding the rest of my body with it. So it's still connected without being rigid. And that kind of mobility in the head is really important for a number of ways, for a number of reasons. So first of all, for Cobra, you really have this sense of your head being independent. It's like you're like a bobble-headed doll. The way that the Cobra moves, it's as if it has its hood, and the hood makes it top-heavy. And so it's constantly trying to catch its balance with this top-heavy thing that's always throwing off its balance. And what it's doing with that hood is that it's detecting people's intentions, and it moves off of a line of intention. It's a great visualization. When you're dealing with people in the real world, you just sort of let an outburst of emotion, you sidestep it and let it go on its merry way. The way that the Cobra moves is that it picks up on other people's intentions and moves before the intention becomes acted upon. So it's like a radar system. You feel the heat of somebody's intention, and you're already moving off the line before they do something. And so this is the form of refined perception that the Cobra represents. And the benefit of doing that neck exercise is that, of course, we tend to think of our head as being very different from our butt, but they are two ends of the same rope. So the top of my spine and the base of my the tip of my coccyx are two ends of the same spinal structure. And if you have tension at the back of your head, well, that's going to result in tension in your lower back. And so one of the very common kind of tip in martial arts and in dance and in yoga, bring your chin into your spine, bring your chin into the base of your neck, and what that does is that it gives you more slack for the rest of your spine to straighten out. So that's the big benefit in really concrete terms of doing that kind of neck exercise. And again, it's one of those principles where you express the full range of motion of the atlas joint on different planes of action, and it gives your brain a map of the potential range of motion, and it goes, well, if this is one end of the spectrum and this is the other end of the spectrum, I'm going to hang out in the middle. So that's the idea. So let's do the cobra bow one more time and just feel what that natural alignment of the head gives us. So we start off again, tips of the fingers. And I can see that my head's cut off here a little bit. Okay, I'll move the camera up one more time. There we go. Come on. There we go. Sorry about this. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So, tips of the fingers. And again, quick little reminder. Inhale, tip of the tailbone. Inhale, third eye. Inhale, back of the brainstem. Form the hood, come together, slight exhale, slight, what's the word I'm looking for? Cobra sting kind of quality. And then describe the inside of the hood of the cobra as you exhale. All right, so inhale, third eye, back of the brainstem, hold the breath. And inhale, third eye, brainstem, hold the breath. One more time, inhale. And triangles, you make a triangle shape with your hands, and you bring them to the tip of the tailbone on the inhale, and then as you exhale, you bring the hands up to the third eye point, and you exhale. And that's the full bow. And hopefully you had a sense, you probably were able to do it with a little bit more bob and weave, without losing your weight, without losing your balance as much. So hopefully you could notice that. The cobra represents, so there's a physical bow to the cobra, but like I said before, the cobra and the leopard, they're really what we talk about as ethereal animals. So their real work is much more internal and contemplative. So like in yoga traditions or in Chinese martial art traditions, Japanese traditions, there are meditations that you do that are about purification of your intentions. And that element it's the cobra element in across all traditions. So for example, with yoga, you have yoga nidra and pranayama, alternate nostril breathing, where you run currents of energy up and down your spine. And what you're trying to do is refine your perception. In Aikido, you have misogi. In yoga, you have dharma yoga, where the actions that you take, like for errands, for everyday chores and errands, house cleaning or dishes, you imbue with a sort of spiritual quality, so that the cleaning you're doing in the world is also a cleaning that you're doing of your spirit. It's more high level devotional cleaning of intention. So that's what the cobra, that's the kind of work and training that really falls in the cobra's wheelhouse. So the physical is, the bow is an affirmation of that. It's taking time to give yourself a chance to embody that, whatever you're doing. Whether you're breathing or doing random movement, you give yourself a chance to check in with that devotional, spiritual intention and embody it in your movement and in your being. So that's the kind of work that the cobra does. Each of the animals represents a different system of the body. So tiger is musculature, boa is the breath, python is the skeletal structure, black panther is the tendons and ligaments, white leopard is energy, is the energy system, and cobra is the nervous system. So while I'm doing the bow, I'm running energy through my nervous system. So I'm hitting the nexus of nerves, the plexus at the tailbone, where all the iliosacral nerves are jutting out from my spine to the legs. I'm hitting that. I'm hitting a center point of nerves, the hypothalamus, the projections from the cranial nerves, and then the cerebellum, so the projection of the nerves that go from the brain to all of the muscles. So I'm hitting all of those plexes of neurons and sending energy through them as I inhale and exhale. So that's the system of the body that I visualize when I'm working with Cobra. So let's try the bow one more time, and we'll finish this off. So let's play with it a little bit more. Let's visualize the nervous system. Take a moment, ask yourself about your spiritual intention, or your intention in doing the challenge, or any of your physical practices. What is your intention for yourself in doing that practice? And can you, like a magnet, attract that result for yourself by doing the bow? So, how much more purity of perception can you draw to yourself? How much more purity of intention can you draw to yourself as you do the bow? All right, so we'll do this. Take a moment. And let yourself be loose. Breathe in deep into the tailbone, into the third eye, directly into the brainstem, hood. Then send that intention out. And then exhale. One more time. And tip of the tailbone, third eye, brainstem. Send the intention out and exhale. One last time, and then triangle. Let yourself still be drunk and loose. Tip of the tailbone. Draw energy through the triangle into the tip of the tailbone. And up to the third eye. Exhale. And release. Right. Okay. So that's a good physical foundation to what the Cobra is about and how to move in it. There's a lot more, but I want to pace ourselves here. So I hope that gave you a little bit of a peek into a very different world. And I hope that it's something that, I hope that with the neck exercise that you found something that is useful for your everyday practice and your posture, and helping to relieve unnecessary tension in your neck and your shoulders. So thanks so much. This is day 10, so we're already 1/3 of the way through our challenge. And in the next set of 10 days, we're going to delve deeper into the animals. So far, we've just been doing moves that have been, the bows, and they're really simple. And in the next 10 days, we'll introduce some of the exercises. So like for Black Panther, we have Black Panther tendon and ligament. For Python, we'll do a little bit of arm whipping action, just to give us a sense of how the animals move, to get a deeper sense of their qualities. So we'll be doing that in the next section, and we'll talk more about the different qualities of consciousness they represent. So, What do we mean by intention or linear analytical mind? What do we mean by instinct and senses, and so on. So we'll break it apart so that you can put it back together and it'll have more meaning for you. All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. A pleasure and an honor as usual. And same time, same channel tomorrow. Have a great day.